Welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals at Zero Hour to make the best game ever. Okay, we have 95 open pull requests. So let me see my own reviews. The NetPacket Refactor. NetPacket Refactor. So there was one more comment here from the Greptile bot. What is it? Use frame 1 inconsistent with corresponding fixed base struct. Returns use frame 1, but used by non-small has a frame field commented out. Use frame 1 in the small packet pass execution frame will be written to the packet whenever the execution frame advances between commands, which happens on every new game frame. This is a behavioral deviation from the Refactor code. What? Huh? What the hell is that? Okay, let me see that. So it says that this one should be 0. Use frame should be 0. In disconnect frame. Okay, let's try to figure that out. NetPacket. NetPacket frame, there we go. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Disconnect frame. Favor. Okay. All right. Yeah, at disconnect frame here, this one. Use frame. But it's here, execution frame. It is here. Disconnect frame. Oh. Net disconnect screen off command, but that's what? What? Returns use frame 1, but command for this. There's a frame field commented out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here it definitely is used, right? It does write the frame. Yeah. Now, as for a previous one, let's search for NetPacket. If we can do that. Can we search in commits? No. So we have to go to NetPacket and then look at the history of that. No. NetPacket. View history. There we go. Here. That's the one. Fill buffer with command. There we go. So we're looking for what was the name again? Disconnect frame. Disconnect frame. So we're looking for disconnect frame. Run ahead. It's a bit small, isn't it? Run ahead. Destroy player. Keep alive. Disconnect, keep alive. Disconnect player. Is it that? No. I'm looking for disconnect frame. Disconnect frame. Disconnect chat. Vote. Progress. Load complete. Timeout. File write. File announce. File progress. Disconnect frame. There we go. So this one, it doesn't write a frame. Aha. 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 Yeah. Interesting. Okay. That's fair observation. I will create a bug report separately for that. Bug reports. So how do we say chat message? Yeah. Nope. The packet structs. Search for disconnect frame. There we go. There it is. Okay, then we say maybe we can put it here. So this command base does not use a frame, but small. Let's say but this does not use the frame fields. Why? Investigates. By the way, did it? Inconsistent. Yeah, but it's not a regression of this refactor. It's basically mutations. Yes, frame one is intentional. It is, yeah. Investigate network. Minor. By the way, yeah, that's okay. That's not we should create a blank task. Let me open my new page. New issue, blank. Issue type. Bug, I don't know. Investigate network minor. Are there more of such cases, such inconsistencies between the packets variants? Okay. This matches what the original does, but indeed it looks strange, and I tracked it as a separate report. Where is this? I will mark this as resolved. Okay, so yeah. I think we're good to go. Is this? Yeah. Okay. Then yeah. Then I will. Let's give it one more test in a network match. Yeah. So generals, English. We open 2 clients. 1, 2. Okay, then network. Okay, create game. There we go. Okay, let's enable cheats for building. Okay, I'm gonna build some nice supply here. And here as well. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interestingly, the scrolling feels slower here than it does here. Why is that? Maybe it's set differently here. Oh. Ah. Uh-huh. That makes sense. Uh-huh. Okay, so far so good. We are able to build. Let's build some drink tanks. Here, let's get the worker. Get some tanks here. Scorpion rockets. Let's go attack here, the opposition. Let's get a radar van so we can see. And a radar. And then we get a palace here. And then we get a black market. Why not? Let's get some upgrades here. Yeah. Let's get a Scudstorm. And here, let's build a flame wall here. Maximum defense. There we go. It's a good line of defense. Very professional. Very bright as well. Who wins? I think that China is in a good position here. But the range of the Scorpion tanks is strong. But maybe this outpost can do some good work here. Yeah. Well, a close call here for the China man. So we have a Scudstorm there. Let's get some rocket boogies. Some guys here. Let's get all the upgrades here. Some guys here. Okay, let's attack with a battle bus here and kill the enemy. Yeah. Let's attack here some buildings. Yeah. Let's try to kill the opposition here. Let's see if we can out-micro him. It's not looking too bad. German Care is doing good work. Oh, careful, careful. Careful. Good range here. I'm surprised it has so much range. Because it is garrisoned, right? Oh. In the battle bus they are garrisoned and have more range. Isn't that a bug? Isn't that a bug? Or is it normal that they have more range? I'm not sure. Seems a bit strong. Yeah. But maybe it's normal. Okay, but looks like Battle Bus has won. Then let's surrender. Okay. Okay, I think that looks pretty well. Okay, then we can merge this. Fix constants, add new NetPacket command. Did we already check that all of these? Yeah, we did. Command. Okay, then I think we can merge this one. Refactor NetPacket, simplify. Okay. Confirm rebase and merge. All right. Okay, great. Then let's go to main branch. Let's do a fetch and prune all remotes. While we wait for that, let's go for author Tin Hamans. Okay. This pull request updates the validate pull request workflow to recognize labels squash and rebase. It also detects and applies labels from the PR description. Okay. Added labeled and unlabeled events workflow triggers. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at it. Rebase squash. Okay. Labeled, unlabeled. Is that the correct English? Labeled. So labeled is American, I guess, this one. American spelling. Okay, that's fair. Merge by rebase. Merge by rebase. Merge by rebase and merge. Rebase and merge. Squash and merge. A few years ago, the button was called merge with rebase, and I still call it that way. The new button names are merge and squash. Wait, what was it? Squash and merge. Another way, squash and merge. And rebase, and merge. Mm-hmm. I suggest user following detection. So user following detections. Squash and merge. Squash, rebase and merge. Merge with rebase. Merge by squash. Merge by rebase. And then I can also do a merge with squash. Mm-hmm. In short, just short, maybe just check if there is a merge and a squash at the first line of the description. Mm-hmm. If there are the words merge and squash or rebase at the first line of the description. Mm-hmm. Squash and merge, rebase and merge. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is CI. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me take a look at this one here again. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Mm-hmm. Then let's review this again. Mm-hmm. Get max boxes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Max boxes. Mm-hmm. Supply truck stuff. Sorry about that. Mm. Superfluous comments. I say redundant comments. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Add money boost before unload consumes boxes. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well. Okay. Supply bonus proportionally to deliver boxes. Mm-hmm. Refactor. Well, this one is the obsolete comments on this one. Mm-hmm. It's simply it's necessary to move it for the fix. No need to describe as refactor. Mm-hmm. Say superfluous comment. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, this looks the code looks pretty clean. I like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. Great. Mm-hmm. 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 Wait, before we send that, let me look at this function one more time. Const, okay, deliver boxes by max boxes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Max boxes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. This looks good to me. Codes is looking good. Mm-hmm. 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 Can mark this as resolved. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Then that is sorted. So what about this one here? Except 3 units via well-timed production queue cancellations. It does feel like a rather unorthodox place to intentionally install a skill differentiator. Is a reasonable player likely to deliberately risk cancelling the whole unit for the sake of saving? Yeah. Imagine it's more commonly a fluke that leads to confusion or surprise, which is generally better to minimize where possible. The main reservation I have with a partial refund approach is when it comes to an invisible build cost divided by a quality modifier. Tank general's red guard costs that. How would half of this be refunded? Prevention cancellation once the first unit is exited seems like the cleanest approach to me. Mm-hmm. Fair enough, yeah. If I update this now to prevent cancelling entirely if quantity is smaller than that. This time window is always quite short anyways, so should have minimal impact. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Fair enough. Then search and found 0 cards. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then let me take a look at the again, we have a lot of info comments here. Oof. Okay, too many info comments. There are too many super hacker comments. Too many super hacker comments placed around the changes. Please find one place where appropriate to describe the new intended behavior. Comments. Okay, let's take a look at the actual. So cancel unit, create, force cancel. Okay, force cancel, false. Cancel construction of unit with matching production ID. Force cancel, do not cancel if units were already produced. And who can call this force cancel? True, introduce force cancel param. Kind of dozer. What? Cancel unit create. True. So here we pass true. Here as well. Force cancel. Why is this necessary, this force cancel? I don't understand that. Introduce force cancel param used to bypass partial production refund guard. Okay, but why? Why is this necessary here? Don't cancel dosers in the queue. Huh? What? Okay, I don't understand this force cancel thing. What did you say about that? It is no longer possible to cancel production. This guard is skipped with force cancel is true, which is used by cancel and refund all production. Building destroyed sold. Full refund is intentional. Building destroyed sold. Script disallow path. Production blocked externally. Not player initiated. Prevent canceling production when units already produced. Cancel and refund all production. Cancel and refunds all production. Force cancel. So it's in cancel and refund all, and inside whatever that function is, update. Don't cancel those. Okay, I don't understand that. Introduce use to script disallow path. Allowed to build. Is this really necessary? Can we not just let the partial production finish? Is this force cancel very necessary? Can we not just let the partial production finish? Let me ask this. That's okay. Okay, then yeah. There appear to be too many compared to others. Maybe find one place where Okay, let me also look at review. So review approved. I can probably merge these two here. Is this right? It failed to compile with that configuration. Okay, I'm not yet so sure about these two. What about these two? Yeah. This one still also needs work. This one can maybe be merged. Well, can also be polished. It also needs to be replicated. So regarding the NetPacket, let's go to main branch and let's pull. And let's delete this branch here. Then I would say next what we can look at is the writes. So a NetPacket. No, not net. Yeah, NetPacket. Yeah. So we have these writes down here, right? These guys. And so we are probably looking at. Let's make a trial run here with one of the guys. Read file message. So it's about reading. Yeah. NetPacket structs. Copy bytes into the buffer. Yeah. Let's go to our favorite run aheads. I think that was good for testing purposes. Run aheads, very short. That's nice. So if we go here to run ahead, here. So yeah. New frame rate. 20. Read run ahead message. Offset. Data and offsets. Data and offset. Message. So essentially it returns two arguments, the offsets, and it creates a new message. I see. Yeah. Okay, how do we want to refactor that? It has been a few weeks since we last looked at this shit. And now I forgot how this whole stuff has been set up. But I think we will figure it out once we look at it for a bit. So we need to read in this data. I think what we need to end up with is in the command message. Let's go for the run ahead here. There we go. Here. So right now it does this here, net command message T. Right. Copy bytes for small NetPacket. Yeah, okay. Copy bytes. Yeah. Do we have two of these reads here? No, just this one. Huh. Okay. How's are the other packets read then? Maybe the same way. Who's calling this? Okay, I suspect that this function is used for both the small and the regular NetPacket. Yeah, I suspect so. Yeah. Could be. Yeah. If that's the case, then we just need one read function. Yeah. Why are these virtual? Is that intended to be virtual? Oh yeah, they are. Yeah. I think we can also add an override here. Same as this one, yeah. Overrides. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. And then we need a new function here which says something like write bytes or copy bytes. Yeah. Run ahead message. Your run ahead 20, 30. Your run ahead is 20 and your frame rate is 30. Read run ahead message. File data. So we give it a buffer. I don't know why this is not const. We give it a buffer and an offset. Great. And then a buffer and an offset. It creates. Okay. Virtual size t, but then maybe how do we make the distinction when reading between these two types of packets? That is not clear to me right now. We just have raw byte data. So we don't know from which kind of packet it came. I see. Copy bytes. So I think what we need to have is a static. What do we give it? We don't give it this one, right? No. I think we need to have a static size t read bytes, and then we give it a command message as a reference. CMD message. That command message. What do we just call it? Yeah, we call it command message. Command message, so that's the out. And then we give it the const buffer and then also an offset. Size t offset. Oh, we don't give it an offset. No. Yeah, we just give it like so. Read bytes. Yeah. I think that makes sense. And then here we would do a and then buffer. And then in here we would do a command message. How's it done? Mem copy. There. Copy. I think we need a read primitive. Read primitive. T say source const source, and here we do test t value read primitive test value source size of value, return size of value. And then here we would do size t how do we do it? Size, okay. Size equals 0. Return size. And then Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think we need a read object. Read objects. Which is the same as a primitive, isn't it? Primitive. Yeah. Primitive. Yeah. I think we don't need read primitive. We just need read objects. Mm-hmm. 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 Maybe put it here at the top. Okay. And then we would do a network. So, well, that doesn't work. Actually, now it does. So we do a command base, and then a read object, and then a value, and then buffer, and then size equals that. And then once we have read it, then we can do command message. So for NetPacket run ahead, it will be, let's go in here. Oh no, we need to, hold on. No, it's this one, yeah. So whatever we have in here, which are these guys here, yeah. So command message sets command type. Then we do base command type. That somehow doesn't work. Operator. That doesn't work. What is it? Dot command type doesn't work. Set net command type. Net command type dot command type. No? Well, what is the problem here? Argument of type unsigned byte is incompatible with net command type. Net command type. Can do maybe I set a cast for this. Okay. Then we have relay, yeah. Has no member relay. Oh. What do we do about relay? Relay. Set relay ref. Oh, I see. Aha. Message. Okay. I see. Aha. 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 Okay, I see. We need to... Man. So we need to pass a net command ref here, actually. Yeah. Interesting. So... Yeah, we can give it this one. Right. Ref. There we go. Ref. Base size to ref. No, message. That doesn't work. Because it's const. That's why. There we go. Okay. Then here we have ref. That's it, relay. Yeah. Okay, great. And this one we do base. Base dot relay. Okay. And then we have a couple more fields. So base dot frame player ID and command ID. I think then it's just like that. Okay. And then here we have set frame, execution frame, and the set player ID and set command ID. No. Set ID. There we go. Okay, is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, I think so. Read bytes, yeah. And then read bytes, yeah. Okay, so far this seems plausible. Now we also need this for the data. So let's make a copy of this guy. So we have read bytes here. Ref and buffer. Ref and buffer. This terminology with copy bytes is a bit ambiguous in this context, right? It could mean read or write, but it's meant to be write. Maybe we should rename this in a future change. Yeah, well, not important now. Good, so I think here it's similar, but we need to give it... Copy bytes. Ref. Okay, I'm curious why we pass command ref here. I forgot about that. because we pass it everywhere. That's why. Except here. Huh. Oh, that's strange. Okay, but then I assume, yeah, we pass command ref here as well and the buffer. Okay. Okay. Then we make a new function. Okay. And then we would take this guy, do fixed data. Then we would do same as we did here. Data, read objects, buffer, size. We can probably make this const here, const size. Maybe we don't need to. Maybe leave it size. Yeah, okay. Return size, and then so run ahead message. Let's see. Okay, that's interesting. So it defaults to 30. Why is it doing that? Huh. I don't know. 2030. Why does it put values there? Because it is being overwritten anyway, right? So why bother? Maybe it was for testing. Okay. Base. No. So we do command message. What was it? Run ahead and set frame. Let's run ahead and set frame rate. Yeah. Base. Now data dot run ahead and data dot frame rate. There we go. Okay. Command message. It can't be const, yeah. And this one needs to be like so. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why this was initialized to values. It doesn't make sense to me. Like this is like essentially no op, right? Because it reads it here and overwrites it anyway. So I don't know why they put that here. Maybe they did it so that they put some reasonable values. Huh. I don't know. Do we want to preserve this or not? They did it for all the guys here, look. Why? Why? I would say drop it. Yeah. Probably does nothing. Yeah. Okay, but this looks already very promising. Yeah. Okay, and then the next step would be well, let's see if it compiles so far. Yeah. 2432 is good. Once it's done, I can put up the reverse insertion. 2432, 2432. Author Muller 2432. Okay, let's take a look at it. Oh, it's pretty small. Okay, that's cool. Let's take a look at it. Retake compatible pathfinding. Forward insertion sort that is 100% retake compatible. Forward insertion sort retake compatible. List. Forward insertion sort in ascending cost order. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it's not much code, but it looks a bit intricate. Okay, so there's a new function which is for retake compatible pathfinding. Forward insertion sort retake compatible, otherwise forward insertion sort. Okay. Okay, then we have. It removes these guys here. Okay. Else and if. Okay. Okay, fair enough. And if. And then otherwise this one is working for all. And then. Aha. Okay. I like this already. That looks good. Yeah. Okay. Retake compatible. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so this is now basically the whole spiel. Has to have info, close false, open false, serious error, invalid flags. Okay. Make the new cell as being on the open list. Okay, okay. Head, if head is null, then previous open is null, next open is null, head this. Okay. If the node needs inserting before the current list head, total cost is smaller. Okay, let me read the information here. A new and more robust forward insertion sort function. This code is only retake compatible up to the point where a pathfinding crash would normally occur. This is why the original code is maintained as a retake compatible pathway. This code builds part of the foundation of the skip list that will be coming and further changes. Okay. If the node needs inserting before the current list head. Previous open. So total cost is smaller than list head. Previous open, then it adds it to the head. Okay, next open is list, okay. And previous open is this guy, okay. Okay, this already looks good, yeah. Traverse the list to find correct position. Oh, this gets costly now because there's a loop here, okay. So we started the head, oh boy. And while next open and next open total cost is smaller equal this. Smaller equal total cost next open. Would smaller not work as well? If current why smaller equal case. Okay, traverse the list to find correct position. Okay, current get. Okay, great. Yeah, okay. Insert the new code in the correct position. Next open. Next open. Okay. The new code, correct position. Correct position. Maybe it's correct. Yeah. So basically, it's at the end. Okay, I see. Yeah, I think it's correct. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's correct. Yeah. Delete this again. Insert the new code in the correct position. Next open. Next open in the correct position. Next open is current. Okay, next open. Previous open. Okay. What about the previous open? What is here? Okay. Current info, next open. Okay. Okay, I think this looks reasonable. Yeah. What did the original do? Sorry, if the list is being initialized. Oh yeah. Perhaps explain how this implementation is efficient. This is not yet a performance fix, right? I thought this was already a performance improvement. Oh no. Robust. Okay. I see. Okay, it's more robust. Okay, great. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I guess I don't see any faults. It looks looks plausible, let's say. Okay. We have a number. Number of approved changes. Please polish them so we can match them. Okay, so we have compile errors. Of course. Yeah. Now the question I have though is, how do we distinguish between these two types of packets when we read? Like, there's no information for this, right? Huh. Yeah. Who's calling this? So it looks like they both want to go through the same thing. Let's see. I'm not sure how we deal with this now. To me, it looks like we need to implement a different kind of function. Yeah. We need to implement a NetPacket command template. So base copy bytes. So I think we need to add a function here, static size t, read bytes, okay. And then we have that. And then we take this guy, make a copy, bring it over there, here, blah, okay. Okay, then we have message. Then here we say, we do the same that we do here. Okay, but that's fine. Yeah. So do it similar to how I did this here. How do we deal with this? I think we can add a default and break. Yeah. And so we have a Okay, I think we can merge this one here, right? This one is okay, looks good. Okay. Okay. Then so the problem I see here with this loop, apart from not compiling right now, if we give it this, if we don't give it a length, then how do we know when to end? Or how do we know we don't read over the end of the buffer? Oof. Yeah, that looks a bit risky. Yeah. Yeah. Zero. Zero. Okay. One byte. Yeah. So we have these guys here. Then we take off this. We have these. And then at the end we do so then here we need to do that command type. Then here we do that frame play ID relay and command ID. Okay, Let's sort these. So command type first, then relay, then frame, command ID, play ID. There we go. Okay. So relay, frame, play ID, command ID. There we go. But maybe we can set this one last. Okay. So, and then between these here, we need to do that. And then we also have a size. So size t size equals 0. Yeah, how do we go about this length here? Well, we need to pass a length, right? That's tricky. If we don't give it a length, then there could be exploitation and read over the buffer length, right? I don't like that. Yeah, read bytes. I really would like to not pass a length, but it looks really scary. Yeah. 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 Go to end. Let's say done. Size t, buffer len. Buffer len. While size is smaller, buffer len. Plus size. Network, read objects, value, What value do we give it? Well, we need to give it the command type byte. Yeah. Can we just do command base? Can we just do a command base here? Base. Then we do base. Command ID. Dot field type. No. Dot command ID. Player ID. Frame. Relay. And command type. Yeah, this do static casts and send bytes. Okay. Okay. And then we do yeah. Then let's just do read object base command type. Buffer. Size plus equal that. And here buffer plus that. That seems reasonable. Then we have relay. Then we have frame. So it's 2 bytes, right? This thing. 5 bytes. Frame is okay. Unsent int, okay. Okay, so far so good. Then here we have player ID. And then we have a command ID. Okay, I think this looks pretty solid. Yeah. Command ID. Okay, great. Default done. Okay. Then we no longer need this here. We have a message. Yeah. And we can remove this here. No, we take this one and we put that here. And then we say here, command type, there we go, like that. Then here we remove this. And then here we say frame. And then here we say player ID, command ID, relay. There we go. Relay. Command ID. Play ID. And there we go. Okay, fantastic. Okay, this to me looks correct. Yeah. Size, yeah, and there's it done. Okay, great. Hold on. Default, yeah, default go to done. Or when so we are done when we no longer find one of these field types, yeah. Or when the buffer len was exhausted. Yeah. Because we cannot trust that the buffer really ends with something that is different from these 5, right? It could end just after this for some reason, if it was malformed, and then disaster would happen because it would keep on reading until it would go beyond the end, essentially. Yeah. Okay. I think this looks good. Now, the only problem is we now need to pass a buffer len. That's not so nice. Yeah. Copy bytes. Read bytes. Would be nice. Yeah. No, it's probably safer, yeah. But buffer len. But then we need it for the other guys as well. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Yeah. I see. For the data bytes is also a problem. Like someone can say, hey, I have this data, but then it doesn't provide the data. And then what happens? It will read beyond the end of the buffer because it expects there's some data. Right. Oof. Yeah, but the same is already true here. We should probably say if size is small, if smaller buffer len, smaller equal buffer len. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Can you fix the general's compile error? Ah, he did it here. I did. Never mind. See, you did a unify first. Mm-hmm. This unifies some variables, functions used for loading, removed, commented out, edit, is loading map, that. This was done for the replicate to generals. Replicated by hand, okay. Unify. Then this goes to generals, yeah? Let's see. Generals, yeah, okay. Then unify and generals. Okay, great. Load save game. Loading. Blah, 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 okay. Loading map, okay. Loading games, loading map. Okay, so far so good. I think it looks reasonable. Yeah. Train gate data. Okay, what is GrabTile complaining about? Set loading safe is never called anywhere. So is loading safe will always return false. Is that a problem? We don't care. I don't care about this loading map. Does he set loading map? He does. Yeah, okay. Okay, great. So clearing game data. Okay. Okay, great. Looks reasonable to me. Yeah. Okay, back to this guy. Yeah. So, do we want to make sure that we, so we want to make sure that we can read, yeah. So I think what we need to do is we need to test that size plus size of this, size of that is smaller than bufferlen. Mm. Or small or equal. I think small or equal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And then here we do relay, frame, play ID, command ID. Mm-hmm. Read object. Maybe. Maybe we should build this check into the read object itself. So we say here, size t, source len, and then we have a if size plus equal size of value, then we do a mem copy of this thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then this here is kind of misleading. Maybe we should do a copy len size t copy len, and there will be an std max std min of size of value and source len, yeah, whatever is smaller, and then we copy len, and then copy len, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think this makes sense. Clamp copy to clamp length to make sure it never reads beyond the end of the buffer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that makes sense, yeah. And then basically here we do now buffer len minus size, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then here we do, oh boy, I remove this again. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think this looks correct. Buffer plus size and here buffer len minus size, yeah. Yeah, I think this looks correct. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Maybe here we should say readlen. Okay, that looks good. And then we would say now let's see if that compiles so far. Back non-crashing. Do we want to merge this straight away? Maybe wait a bit until someone else wants to look. Network read objects. Yeah. Okay, we have compile errors. Okay, this one gives a different legal token. So std min is not allowed here. Why not? Let's use min then. Okay, and then next step we would need to. It still fails. Oh boy. Error read objects. Right. So here the same deal. We would need to pass the size t buffer len. Yeah. Buffer len. Then we should probably actually initialize it here. Yeah. Then we do data, because it can now fail to read, right? Then we do data dot run ahead equals 20. Data dot frame rate equals 30. Okay. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Okay, cool. But then, so this one, we still have this problem here. Yeah. Maybe we don't need this function then here. Let me comment this out. Yeah. Okay, and how would we use these now? Template, Get size, copy bytes. Copy bytes. Yeah. I think we simply add a template here. And yeah. Then we do a ten size. And then command base. And then here we have command base, command data. Command data, we need to have read bytes. Yeah. And command base. We also have read bytes here. Yeah, okay, so this should work. And then we pass ref. And then buffer plus size. And buffer len minus size. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And that should do. Good. And then we use this one for both packets, also for this one. Actually, yeah. Maybe add a comment here. This one, this function can be used for both. NetPacket command, NetPacket commands, and small NetPacket commands. Which can be used for for both. Yeah, this function is used. Yeah. Okay, I think this works likely. And then in our net command, we would then here say same thing. So we would have this ref here. Put this here, the front ref, and then we have a const buffer. Then we have a size t, buffer len, and then we need this function in here, and that will be called read bytes. Yeah, we just call it read bytes. How about that? Read bytes, const 0. Okay, great. So override buffer and then a small this and then read bytes. We pass a ref, we pass a buffer and the buffer len. There we go. Yeah, read bytes. That works. Okay. Now when we compile this, we will get now a whole bunch of compile errors because we are missing a whole lot of functions in these packet data structs here. So we need to fill that and then we can continue. Yeah, what do we have now? Void. What is this? Right. There's a compile error. Read bytes is not a member. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Good. Then I think I will end it here. Yeah. Hopefully. Good. I think this looks very promising, our refactor. I think it's halfway there. Maybe we look at one more thing. Or maybe not. Yeah. Okay. Good. Currently doing. I started last part of NetPacket Refactor for the reads. Should be done next days. Good. Then I will end it here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.